and welcome. Today, I will be showing you how to create a jack-o'-lantern. Now, where does the jack-o'-lantern come from exactly? Irish folklore, specifically a character by the name of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack was a mean old drunk who played tricks on his friends and family and ended up casting himself out of both heaven and hell. The devil, taking pity on him, gave him a piece of burning coal from hell, to which Stingy Jack placed into a turnip and carries with him everywhere he goes, creating what we know as the jack-o'-lantern. Now, I'll be telling you some of the materials I have laid out here that you will be using to create the jack-o'-lantern, starting with some newspaper. The newspaper is so that you can keep the mess of your pumpkin to a minimum. You will also be using cellophane, carving knives of varying degrees, pair of scissors, permanent marker, a tea light candle, and a lighter. Oh, and just one more thing, a pumpkin. Now, to begin, you'll need to carve the stem of the pumpkin. You can use the big carving knife so that you can get in there more easily. Once you have successfully carved off the stem, you can go ahead and begin the process of cleaning out the pumpkin. Now, when I say cleaning, I'm referring to the removal of the pumpkin seeds as well as the stringy parts within the pumpkin itself. Once you have completed the cleaning process, you can go ahead and wrap the pumpkin in your cellophane. Now, what you'll do is you'll cut up a fresh piece and you will wrap it around the pumpkin tightly. Now, right now, I'm just going to place it over, but ideally, of course, you'll be wrapping it, yes, tightly. Now, once you have wrapped the cellophane around the pumpkin, you can go ahead and draw your design onto the pumpkin. Now, the reason I say to draw it after you've placed the cellophane on the pumpkin is so that you can get a better idea of the shapes and the grooves of the pumpkin. As you can see, I drew my face before I put it on the pumpkin, and so now it's going to come out a little funny looking, but that could be good. It's nice to have your jack-o'-lantern have more character. So, but you could put any kind of design. You could put faces, you could put characters from movies, you could put shapes, triangles, whatever you would like to convey onto your jack-o'-lantern. Now, once you have finished drawing on the cellophane, you could go ahead and get a paring knife and carve into the areas that you've drawn onto. Now, the reason the cellophane is recommended is because it wraps to the pumpkin and it kind of gives it some grip, so when you're cutting it, it can be a little bit easier. You can always just draw directly onto the pumpkin and carve that way. Now, once you've completed the carving process, you can go ahead and take your tea light candle, make sure you light it up, and you'll want to place it very carefully into the pumpkin. Now, you could also put the tea light candle in the pumpkin and use a long lighter to light it up. I had a small one, so in this instance, I lit it beforehand. But it's totally at your discretion. You could also even use a battery-powered LED tea light. You can find those at the dollar store, and they're really good because you won't run the risk of the pumpkin setting on fire. Now, once you have completed the candle and placed it in, put the stem back on top and turn out the lights so you can now view your finished jack-o'-lantern. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy and happy carving.